Hello. I'm here early. Yeah.
Oh, I'm really glad you are because I had to start. I want to start because I've got some announcements and I need you to be here because I think you're going to be like loving these announcements. But
Okay, I'm ready.
so, do you remember when I was away and you asked me, or actually, I don't think it was so much you, but the audience asked me who wrote the book and they wanted to know where everybody was with the
Right.
UFOs? Well, I have the book. I
Oh, there it is.
actually found it. And it's by David Campione. I just wrote him to see if he'll be back on the show. But it's the UFO Spacecraft Identification Manual. And that is from his dad from the FBI. So
Right.
this is a pretty cool book. I do want to just show you, he documented the crafts, and I won't go into too many because you'll have to people you. It's a very thick book, and it goes into all the different crafts. But I want you to see what he did for the FBI real quick. If I can figure that out, where's his? See, these are the ones
Oh, right.
that he actually saw, and that he
Yeah.
actually. Hi from England. You know I love the UK. And here are the ones, some that he felt were not good ships, and some were. And I don't know
Huh.
how they were able to tell, but it's not that cool.
That's awesome. Yeah.
And then I talked to the guy from Bigfoot. Remember?
Right. Yeah.
Glenn Atkins. He's the oh God, you know my brain how it goes. He's the firefighter, and he is going to come back. He's
Awesome.
coming back. Yeah, he's coming back in December, and he's excited to meet you because
Oh, cool.
he right now he's in the woods looking.
Oh, nice.
So, and then also I wanted to bring in the guy I also told you about the crystals. Remember we were talking about?
Oh, right.
And I'm just catching up with everything because I got home, so I'm hoping that's okay. And this is by Nicholas Pearson. This is called the archetypal stones, the 7 archetypes.
Mm.
It's really cool because he is not psychic, and he just did this whole book on what the stones represent for protection, for all this stuff, and yet he's not psychic. So it was a really good interview. It's a good book for everybody. And I'm not going to even show you. The last book is just beginners for crystals for beginners for anybody that's interested in it. So, Chris, how was your week?
It was good. Busy as usual.
I know you're creating some really cool things.
Yep, we are.
And you're still not wanting to tell me, right?
Some of them are secrets. Some of them are not.
Well, I know when you're ready, you will be there. Your secrets will be revealed, I hope, on our show.
Yes, of course, of course.
We have some pretty big things happening in the sky this week.
Don't you start coughing. I'll start coughing.
Well, you start drinking and then I started coughing. So it must be that I feel you. So excuse me, everyone. It's a live show. This can't be. Anyway, we do have a lot going on in the sky, Chris. So I'm going to leave it to you while I take some sips of water.
Drink some water. Yeah. So this week, or is that next week? I don't even know what today is, but
October 2nd
yeah,
is when.
is when we have the Libra eclipse. Even after, and pretty much at the same time on October 9th, we have Jupiter going retrograde. So I don't know if that's the same week or not. I can't do math, but so at pretty much right after it, Jupiter goes retrograde in an air sign as well. So that'll be pretty interesting.
I know. Well, they said that this, leading up to the eclipse, you have, it doesn't just start, so it's leading up. And they say that everything is in air. All the eclipses, I think from now on, but used to be in Earth, and now it's in air. And
the last, I think we've had 2 Libra eclipses so far, if I remember correctly, or at least one. We'll have this Libra eclipse, then air, water, and then we have because we have the Pisces eclipses for the next 2 years.
Aren't you lucky?
Maybe.
Well, we'll know by you, and of course I'm your sister water sign.
Of course.
So I the same response I'm hoping. But what they said about this, well, first of all, I want your opinion, and everybody will want the opinion. what is your opinion on a solar eclipse? Give me the difference. I know people know, but I'd love to hear it anyway. What's the difference between a solar and lunar eclipse?
Well, I think on a personal level, I would say that the solar will definitely brings light to things. A lot of people, like you'll hear people can get recognition on solar eclipses. They can become famous on solar eclipses. They can show up on the news on solar eclipses. So I always think of the solar eclipses as something coming out and putting something out as well. And the lunar eclipses are a little bit more on the emotional side, more internal.
I love the way you explained it. Now that it's in an air sign and Libra is all about Venus and love. So maybe it's going to be, and I'm deferring to you, but maybe it's going to be about this solar eclipse, about changes in what you do, what you love, what's coming for you. Because I really believe that Libra's about balance, but it's also run by Venus. And so maybe it's just about finding balance again and something new, because I do believe solar eclipses shine the light on something you have to either see or change. And so what do you feel about
Yeah, pretty much the same. I would say this one's a little bit different with that Jupiter retrograding in Gemini. It's like Gemini can see both sides of the fence, and Jupiter retrograde is like seeing the other side of the fence. So I think that this eclipse and the retrograde, kind of since they're so close, I think that the energy will be the same together. And it's like everybody, you've been looking at one side of the fence in your life. Now you're going and looking at the other and bringing light to the other side. And this could be on, pretty much anything. It could be your job, love, whatever.
That is absolutely a good analogy. And, I'm going to say the word love 100 times because that's what I say in Libra, but it's all about love. And to me, if you're shown the other side, I love that because a half has to equal a whole, no
Yeah.
matter what. And so when you can see both sides of the equation, you can actually make decisions much easier based on both things. And now I don't think we have Neptune or Uranus. Maybe we still do, but hidden. So
Yeah, retrograde. Yeah, Neptune and Saturn, and that's it. And well, Pluto's retrograde too. But yeah, that's it for until October 11th.
I know. And then after October 11th, aren't we scot-free?
For now, until October 11th. I mean, all the personal planets go retrograde at the end of the year, pretty much. Venus, not right now, but eventually Venus and Mercury will, between now and the end of the year, and Mars. What did I say? Venus, yeah, Venus, Mercury, and Mars, the personal planets will all be retrograde at the same time.
Well, you know what? I always look at, the sun and I think about the sun, and I think the sun is about shining a light on you as a person. And then you have Venus, what you love as a person. And then you have Mercury, how you get your ideas across as a person. Because I think these are personal planets that we're dealing with right now, and more personal versus, outer planets. But that's just how I see it, because I'm not, you study it, but that's how I'm looking at this solar eclipse. And I think it lasts for, what does a solar eclipse last for? The next solar?
I always say 6 months. To me, eclipse energy is at least 6 months, but it can be, I think it can go longer too.
So do you feel like we're in a good period?
Yeah, I think we're in a good period. I think we're in a time of chaos between now and 2033. So I think that there's a lot of craziness we'll see in the world, but I think the people who don't freak out and just scream the sky is falling, I think will be fine, is what I'll say there. Yeah, so don't do that.
I had to.
Yeah, so I think those people, I think that you'll be fine. I always say, like, my biggest fear, I say this in my readings all the time, is that we'll get to 2033 and people will look back on back to 2023, and they'll realize they just spent the whole time worrying and doing nothing. So I keep telling people, do something during this time, because you don't want to get to that time and just realize that all you did was worry about things that you couldn't control anyway.
I agree, and I love what you just said. If you can't control it, and that's a problem with some people. They try to control, every reaction, and they have to learn, especially with what's going on now, that sometimes it's going with the flow.
Yeah.
That you have to look at, which would be much better, so that you can have some peace, because if you don't, you're going to worry yourself to quote death. There goes the death
Yeah.
card. So I love that. So how about if we do, we're always go to questions and things like that. I know you don't want me to bring up football. I'll start. All the Texans are doing good. You ought to, the Tennessee Texans.
I'll have to check it out.
Yes, you have to just pick a team. For everyone who is listening and do like to hear about football, before we actually go into what's going on October 2nd with the retrograde in your sign, the Eagles won. Woo!
Oh, there we go.
I mean, if you hear me, I scream at the TV, I yell, and do all kinds.
I could see it.
I can't even hold back. But the other team lost, which is the Bucks, which is one of my teams. Mayfield, I really like Mayfield. He's just coming into his own. So I'll give him a little time, but he shouldn't have lost. And then we have the Jets, the New York Jets.
Right.
They got Aaron Rodgers. And a lot of people don't like Aaron Rodgers, but he is going to take a team that can't win. I'm not going to say they're going to win the Super Bowl, but they're going to go pretty far this year. So for everybody, hi, Michelle. For everybody, I just want you to know, pick a team and root for it. It's an American sport, and it's on all the time. And just pick it up and have fun. Yes, it's a little violent, and I don't love it. Yes, people get concussions like Tua, who should be quitting now from Miami because he's young and he shouldn't be having that. But it's fun, and I like it. Okay, so I know I'm commenting. So I know, Chris, that you are so jazzing to get into what's going on. And I thought we would read, unless you want to tell me something else that you'd like to read for, I think we should read the cards about the eclipse, because I feel like a lot of people are going to feel this eclipse.
Yeah.
I always look at it as a good thing. That's just me.
Yeah.
A good thing. So let's try going through and see what good thing is going to happen for everyone.
All right. Are we starting with Aries?
We'll start with Aries.
Aries, you have the Ten of Wands. So Ten of Wands is about, focusing on what's important. So the area of your life that you probably are balancing out. Libra is your second house. So, it's your opposite sign is what I meant to say. Scratch that. And, I think that for a lot of you, you could be making things in your life easier, more efficient, or realizing how close you are to your goal or towards achieving a goal. He's very close to achieving his goal, but he's just, he needs to put some of these burdens down. So that's what you could be rebalancing as well, as burdens that you don't need.
Well, I love that. And you just said the words that this card said. Poised. You're poised to let your burdens down. You're poised to start getting rid of all the burdens and looking at something interesting. So I love how these cards play out. But I have to tell you, you're the one, Chris, that got me to read that card you just.
That's my favorite. That's my favorite card in the deck.
You got me to look at it in such a different light. And I hope everybody gets the chance to take your course, because even on this show, you gave me ideas that I never thought about with that card, because you said to me that even when he holds the bundle, it's not a big bundle. And when he's getting ready to drop that bundle, I mean, how great is that? Unless you want to go over the card again. So if you. Yeah,
there's. I look at the Ten of Wands a million different ways. So he's got this bundle. Sometimes I think he needs to realize how close he is to accomplishing something, which is what I felt for Aries. Because he can't see, like, the bundle is in front of his face, so he can't see how close he is to accomplishing his goal. But the other thing is he planted these wands. So it's like sometimes we do have to accept extra responsibility in life, but usually it pays off, and that's really how I read the card.
I don't want any more responsibility. Away from me. I hate them. All right, go ahead.
Taurus, you have the Ten of Cups. So Ten of Cups is a blessing in disguise. I mean, and Libra is also ruled by Venus. So there could be some sort of blessing or a blessing in disguise, good things. And you've had good readings about family as well, Taurus. Even your last one that I did for you had really good family stuff in there. So if you're dealing with family, this could be a good one for you. And even if not, I think it could be just blessings.
Well, can you hold that card up for me?
Yeah.
So look at this card. This card is Treasure Island. Look at all the treasures you just said.
Yeah.
Cups to me is like everything. So this is a great card, and I'm really excited for that.
Gemini, you have the Queen of Pentacles, focusing on resourcefulness. Gemini is definitely, you have Jupiter in your sign, so anything expansive, anything that could cause expansion is going to be for you just in general. And so I would focus on your resources. That's time, money, effort, energy, every resource you have. And there could be something highlighted with a resource, like how much of it do you have to give away, and that's what I would focus on during the eclipse.
Well, I love that because this is really crazy. For Gemini, okay, there's two cards in here, the yin and the yang, and this one's the yang, which tells two things. One is, the twins. You have two sides. So this is telling me you need to work on your yang side. I think the yin, I'm not quite sure, is the female side, and the yang is the male side. I could be wrong. But so what I'm looking at is be more forceful, put out more, in the energy of being more forceful in what you do, more show the universe what you want, because that's what the yang is for me. So the yin is sitting back and the yang is coming out. It means you have to put yourself forward.
Cancer, you are very attractive at this time, Cancer, Empress, and so very attractive at this time, great for abundance and bringing in more abundance. It's also about ease as well. And so if you're doing things like thinking that you need to do things the hard way, I would go the opposite direction and do things the more efficient way. And the Empress always reminds me of efficiency. So that's what I think you should focus on.
I love that. And of course, that's my card. And I love this card. And it says a leg up. So somebody's going to be helping you, Cancer, to get up there. Somebody is going to help you in life to just go right over the tops. Like this reminds me of somebody who's climbing a mountain and they can't get up there himself. And somebody hands him, his hands to push him. So you do need to have, somebody's going to be helping you out in this month, and because, or the next however long the solar eclipse lasts, you're going to get a leg up in life.
Leo, you have the Ace of Wands. I would start now, whatever you're thinking about starting. As Mars goes retrograde at the end of the year in your sign, so anything you want to establish, you definitely want to do that now before we get to the Mars retrograde. And Leo, I think, is starting new things anyway at this time. And something in Leo's life probably has crumbled, and now you're in the kind of rebuilding process. I feel for Leo. I feel whatever you're building is going to be very abundant with that card.
I love that. I got clean it up, Leo. Mm-hmm. If you look at it, it's a beautiful deer, and he's cleaning up the air up here. So to me, that means clean up what you're thinking, clean up what's going on with you, because you are going to start a new way, and you have to clean up the old in order to really see the new.
Virgo, you have the Five of Swords. I think that some of you are thinking, this might only be for one person out there, but I feel like some Virgo is thinking about walking away from a job or something like that. I feel like this is saying you should do it. And I do feel this is a yes. If there's, even if multiple Virgos are thinking about that, I look at the Five of Swords as winning at all cost, of course, and taking a risk. And that's what I would focus on with the Five of Swords, is taking a risk.
I love that, because that card also always gave me problems, and read it on the show. I absolutely have a different respect for that card. So I have picked up mending. So, mending, I love that, because mending means putting together something that has not worked. It's about mending things, with friends, with family. I'm picking more up, like, intuitively with people in your life versus work. So, you got, because we're looking at the fall. Didn't we just have the fall equinox?
Yeah.
So we had the fall equinox. It's all about harvest, and, you're coming into the holidays, and this card says, mend some things that's going to help you move into the holiday season with happiness, joy, and grace. I just feel like there's some mending to do, Virgo.
Libra, step into the light, Libra, is what I feel like the death card is saying. I feel, again, solar eclipse in your sign. So I would step into light, get attention, stand out. You have really good energy in your chart. I mean, Venus is not there anymore, but Mercury is going to move into your sign soon. You have the sun there, of course. And so it's time to step into the light, Libra.
I love that. And Libra, what I got for you, I just adore, is regeneration. So that's all about stepping into, let's regenerate, what's going on with you. Let's step into the light. Let's do some work here. Venus is all about you. Let's put out the love. And Venus is also about beauty, and so I feel like if there's any type of program that the regeneration you might want to get onto. I don't like when people start doing an exercise program. Well, maybe somebody doesn't want to exercise. I hate when they used to say that to me. So what I do see is try beautifying your life, whether that's putting candles in your room, whether that's beautifying something about yourself. If you need, to take a look and just make you feel better. But this is also what I'm getting for regeneration. Turn around and make you feel better.
Scorpio, you have the Two of Wands. I think it's time for Scorpio to get off the hamster wheel. So anything that you do like the same all the time, I feel like the Two of Wands is saying mix it up and do something different. And even if you go to the same store every single day, go to a different one is what I feel like this is saying. Two of Wands is my card of getting out into a new world. So you have to do new things with the Two of Wands.
I love
and I feel like it's time for Scorpios to take the lead on something as well. Like if you have any opportunities to be a leader or to take a leadership position, that's also popping into my head here.
Can you go over that card again?
Yeah, he's standing at the top of this castle. Really, it's a card of taking the lead. I look at the Two of Wands and the Three of Wands as cards of taking the lead, but he needs to take the lead. And where he is standing, this wand is complete, and it just says that he's completed this stage of his journey, and now he has to take the lead and start his next stage of the journey. But he also rushed to a finish line. He didn't enjoy the journey, so he just rushed to his goal, and he didn't stop and smell the roses. So the Two of Wands says keep working towards something new, but also enjoy the journey and enjoy the process.
I love that. I always tell everybody that. And guess what? Because I asked you, because I saw what this card was, it says truth be told. You just told them what the truth is. This card when you talk, because everything you said about that card is so apropos. And Scorpio, you need to listen.
Sag, you have the Chariot, which is a victory, and definitely probably moving on to something new. Sagittarius has had something about leaving behind a job or getting laid off or something came up a bunch, or leaving a situation behind. And the Chariot is about setting yourself apart and going on a new adventure or in a new direction. So and you're a Sagittarius, you love adventures. So go on an adventure.
I love Sages. I'm a Sag rising. Nobody wants to hear it, but I'm a Sag rising. You put your foot in your mouth. You love travel, whether it's even to the store somewhere. You don't love, when you're stagnant. And Sages just remind me of the sweetest, nicest, most adventurous people because they love adventure. And so do I. But anyway, the never-ending story. When I pull this, it's about you, Sag. What he said, get out. Start doing something different, because if not, you're going to be stuck with that never-ending story, that everything in your head just keeps going on and on and on, and it just keeps reverberating back and reverberating back. You need to step out, and you can do it, Sagittarius, because Sagittarius are the ones that are half horse or minotaur and half person, and you're looking right, it says shoot your arrow into the sky. Shoot the arrow to the sky and get out of your head.
Capricorn, you have the Seven of Wands. I feel like your confidence is going to be key here, Capricorn. Seven of Wands is a card of conviction. It's a card of believing something so deeply that you literally make it happen. So whatever you want, Capricorn, I feel the more you believe it, the more likely it is that it will be true.
I love that. And then I picked the serendipity card.
That's my other favorite card in that deck. Yeah.
I love it. Can you explain it for me then?
Yeah, it's serendipity is, lucky chance or lucky happenstance happening for you. But I like this card because she's being lifted up by that four-leaf clover. So I always look at it as a very lucky card, or lucky things, lucky surprise things happening for you.
I love that. And I didn't even know you had this deck.
I do. I have it. I was just using it today, right here.
Oh my gosh. Are we good or
Yep.
what? Okay, so that's why, and I thought he wants to describe this, especially if it's one of your favorite cards in the deck. So I love that. Okay, Capricorn, I can tell you that Capricorns for me, I see the goat at the top of that, climbing up to the top of the mountain. I always say you're the sea goat. you've got emotion behind you too. And then once you get to the top of that mountain, you're looking for the next mountain to climb, because you're really about work and in showing love through work. You're a hard worker. You're a great sign for, for getting things done. So I love Capricorns. They're real. We need Capricorns. Otherwise, I'd fool around all day. Capricorns will get it done. So.
Of course. Aquarius, you have the Four of Swords. Aquarius, you need a snack and a nap, is what I feel for Aquarius. So I feel like you need a break, and I would take a break and have a snack, like I said. I also feel, he's hoping and praying for blessings. So there's something you're hoping and praying for. I'm actually going to pull Aquarius, the second card. I feel like you need to put more work into whatever this thing that you're dreaming of is with the Four of Swords, or if you have a dream. The Page of Wands is like pouring gas on the fire. It says you need to pour some gasoline on that fire, or maybe you're running on an engine without gasoline. I don't know. Maybe Bonnie can answer that question.
Well, I'm going to answer it with the card that I'm going to explain. Okay, this deck. It's the why card. Why?
Yeah.
Why are you having to pour gasoline on something? Why? And I love this card because if you look, it's a book with wings. So it says to me, why? I'm asking, okay, so Aquarius, why are you doing all this? You must know that you've got to get up and start doing it, start getting it together. And what's your definition for this card? Why?
Yeah, sometimes that's like my least favorite card in this deck, because I've never actually read the meaning of the card for the deck. But I think the meaning in the book is that sometimes we should ask why, and like other times we shouldn't. There is no reason why. So it kind of says don't get stuck in the why, is kind of a summary of what the book says.
Right, start moving, because if you see the wings, if you ask why, the wings are on the floor. The wings and the book are grounded. So when you ask why, it doesn't allow them to fly. So I love that explanation that you just gave. Aquarius, it's time to get it together. You're a cerebral sign. You're one of the very smart and forward-thinking signs, which I love. Without Aquariuses, we don't have medical breakthroughs. We don't have a lot of breakthroughs in life, and they're very, very hell-bent on those breakthroughs. So it's time you get your intellect into gear and start making decisions, and great decisions for yourself about a different way.
Pisces, you have the Nine of Pentacles. Nine of Pentacles is my card of focus and your environment, focusing on focus in your environment. So those are the two things that I would focus on the most. I think Pisces has to really make sure, especially during the eclipse, and also when Jupiter goes retrograde and Mars goes retrograde at the end of the year, that it's like you need to decide if you're going to be motivated right now or lazy right now. Neither one is the wrong answer, but I would make the decision right now, literally today, when you're watching this video, whether or not what you're going to do. So if you're going to work on something, get to work. If you're not, which is fine, maybe there's a good reason for it, then I would also, bathe in that energy as well.
Okay, well, guess what I pulled for soulmates.
There you go. Hey, you could be going from single, the card of being single is the Nine of Pentacles.
So I love this. I feel like anybody out there that's looking could find their soulmate. But Chris, what I say about soulmates. You see, these are two birds, birds of a feather flock together.
Mm-hmm.
But it could be two soulmates. You could have friends. You could have, I have a lot of soulmates that are friends. Of course, I have my husband's my soulmate. But when I'm listening, I really believe there's people out there, and they're going to find their soulmate. I have a strong feeling when this card came out to me that soulmates, whoever's going to ask that question, look for your soulmate. They're coming. Again, there's many soulmates people have, so you can't just look for one, saying, "Oh, I found my soulmate," but he's not here. No, go out, put yourself out there, because that other soulmate is waiting for you.
Yep.
And I will pull that for you too.
Yeah, of course.
But then your soulmate can be your friends, your soulmate can be your family, your soulmate can be I wonder, Chris, if you can be your own soulmate.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, because you know what, if we're two sides of the soul, because we come female or male, and I know plenty of people are very happy with themselves. They really they like their life, and so when I don't mean soulmate meaning you have to be alone, because a lot of people have pets or friends and they can be their soulmates. But I think that's a good thing to look at. I'm going to look into that. If you can be your own soulmate. I know that I know a few people that I could mention. I mention their name on air, but they seem to do really well. They've tried soulmates, like, partners before, and for them it didn't work. And they're very happy being with them, and they like themselves. So to me, they're their own soulmate.
Yeah, I think it's possible.
But I have this feeling that I'm not reading for you, actually. What I'm reading for you is that you are going to have a soulmate. And so
Of course.
this one to be
You'll be the first to know, Bonnie.
that, unless I bring them to you, you never know. I keep trying.
I won't even tell my own mother. I'll just tell you. That's it.
Thank you. And I can tell everybody else in the world. So
yeah, of course.
I love that. And is there anything else in the sky that you'd like to go over?
Right now, not really. Not at the moment. That's like that. Yeah, that's the important stuff.
How about, what I'm going to ask you is, what sign or what group of signs did you read for that really made a difference? Like, did you say, oh my gosh, all the earth signs this week got great readings, or all the water signs got great readings?
I would say for the last set of readings I did was the October readings, and that's the last full set that I did. And what's weird is no one actually really stood out to me for the month of October. And so maybe that's a sign, though, because it did seem like maybe it's a little bit more of a relaxed month, or maybe a little bit more kind of behind the scenes work, stuff like that. But everybody was they were pretty consistent across the board, which normally they're not. I would say also that a sign that stands out to me right now is Scorpio. I think I said this to you the other day. So Scorpio's readings are just like completely different. Also, Sagittarius, completely different change. And I would say Gemini as well, completely different change compared to, what they've been getting.
Well, you know what? I love that because, I was Scorpio and a Sag as it's children, it's kids. I mean, they're young adults. But, Scorpio, if you look at some of the readings that people are afraid to read for Scorpio. And I don't know why.
I don't know why.
They always say that Scorpio is a very tough read. They're tough people to read. And, if you look at Scorpios to me, they have Pluto, which is their new planet. And they had, and what ends up happening is Scorpios can go to the bottom of the barrel, but they reinvent themselves really quick and come out as the Phoenix rising. But they also are secretive. And I know that they don't try to be, but they always hold something back. So I feel like for a reader, and not you, because you've always had, even my daughter, who is a Scorpio, said you're one of the best readers. She thinks all your readings are spot on and that you're just reading for her, which is great, because, that's a great thing for, for someone to say for you, Chris. But that, some people are really tough, and I listen to them, they go, oh, we leave Scorpio for last because it's such a heavy read.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you. Is there any one of your, like one of the 12 signs that you would say they're really all light and airy?
I would say right now, probably, I'm just going through the signs here, and light and airy, there really isn't any light energy, I would say. I think that there is a focus on things being easy. That's the one thing I will say. Aries, Pisces, Taurus, like that quarter of the sky, I should say Pisces, Aries, Taurus. So, 12th house, first house, second house. And, that for whatever reason, all their readings say focus on easy. And, so that doesn't mean things are going to be easy, but I think those signs need to not overcomplicate things. And, I think also just looking at the collection of energy there, when you think about it, we have Saturn, Neptune, North Node, and Chiron. All right there in that section of the sky. And I think, those are bigger planets and farther away things. So I think that those signs could be making things more complex than they need to be. So the astrology is like saying, make it easier.
I love that. And I just pulled some cards for you because, we get to Pisces and then I always say it's you. So, and I didn't want to do the soulmate thing because but anyway, and I know because I keep trying to fix you up with everybody.
I know.
And I only wish I had another daughter because you and my daughter, when you were, 10 years ago, when you were both the same size, you're both the same age. Anyway, I do want to do a short mini reading for you. So I know, Chris, it's the end of the month. I mean, it's not exactly the end of the month, but we are going to go into a season. So I did want to pull some cards for you, which is really crazy as you were talking. The first card I pulled out, my dear friend, is good fortune.
Oh, I like it.
So it says invite magic. And well, magic to me is just all things great. If you look at the person who's there, she's a beautiful, beautiful angel. And she's standing on top, to me, of a rainbow. Good fortune. Every time I look at you or pull cards, it's always about how good fortune, and anyone else too. Brian and everybody told you the same thing.
Yeah, true.
The next card I pull is knowledge. I mean, how bright is this for you? You're always doing knowledge. You're always looking to knowledge, and you have so much knowledge, behind your eyes there. And what you're bringing forward, I'm assuming with the good fortune, is knowledge for everyone.
Definitely.
And then moving forward. You are moving forward. A lot of things in your life are starting to move forward, from your channel to getting another channel to start putting packages together and teaching courses, and all the secret things we don't know about is moving forward. So there's your reading, Chris.
Thank you.
I'm going to hold this up so that you have.
It's so true.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it's just crazy. That's why I love reading for you. I don't think I ever in 10 years got anything that I would say, Chris, you and I need to talk.
No, never.
I know. So everybody, that is what I see for Chris Reck. And I love that because he brings you all so much. Another thing is, please go to Minnow Pond, Winning Pond, and Chris Reck, and press the like. It helps the algorithms. By the end of the month, you're going to go, I hope, to my channel. I'm going to put out October readings. So I'm going to do monthly and see how that goes. But I've got oh my God, I put out my decks and I don't even know what decks to use, and hopefully it's fine by then. But you're going to see some flower therapy and some oracle decks used. So please, please go to our channel. Right now, Chris has all the content on his channel. And, the only thing I can tell you is for, all of us, and especially Chris, the best thing you can do is you press the like button, and we would really appreciate it. Okay. Chris, is there anything, because I always end the show and I end it, but is there anything you want to let anybody know, or what we could do to help your channels and YouTube? Am I?
And we're going to be sharing Bonnie's channel. Everybody always asks every single week. So once it's all set up and everything, we're going to be sharing that. So don't worry about that, people. Also, just like, subscribe, and share. That's it.
I love it. And I like I said, I start putting content on it. So October 1, I'm going to do monthlies. And if I can, I'll be adding them. I'm going to follow Chris's lead, whatever he wants to. So again, everybody, we love the show. We can't wait to be with you again, and have a happy week and a wonderful week, and put your best foot forward. Bye, Chris.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you.